Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
Welcome to episode 98. So, today, what I was playing with in my own practice, and we'll play with this in practice today, is I was doing this in some standing poses, and we'll see where it might fit in other poses, but using the interlocking the finger movement and using those in some standing poses. And because it's a different way of using the arms, it may give you more access to certain poses. It might help you go into some of the standing poses that I was playing with. And of course, you just have to do this as best you can with your shoulder rotation. You might not have it fully up, it might be just in front of you. But hey, we'll just see what happens as we go about this practice. So let's begin. So I'm just going to sit on a block in Thunderbolt pose, Virajasana, but you can, of course, um, sit simple cross legs. You can put a bolster down. And what's nice about lots is a bit more pressure. Like when I sit with my sit bones here, I can, feel that deep connection into the ground, the block and the ground. And then if I add a bit more pressure in my feet and my shins, then I've got support, and that's the base of our support. And then I can feel the lift in my spine. So we'll do this little warm up using those interlocked fingers in a bit of a vinyasa breath approach, which I think I haven't done here for a while. Maybe, who knows when I've done it last. But we begin the hands in prayer position. We do this on inhales and exhales, and hopefully I can guide you well in the inhales and exhales. So first you're going to cross your fingers. Just notice which finger crosses so you can change the sides. And you inhale the elbows up, shoulder height, and exhale and press them forward. And then on the next inhale, you inhale them up as high as you can. It doesn't mean they go way up. You don't want to distort your spine. They can still be a little bit in front of you. And then you exhale, and the hands come behind. And you interlock the fingers behind. You get that front shoulder stretch. So that front shoulder stretch right here. And then exhale, bring them hands forward. Or was it inhale? See, I've already messed up because I'm talking too much. And then you just bring them back to prayer position. So that's how it goes. Maybe you started with me, maybe you didn't. But we'll change to the other side, and I'll make sure that we do about 3 rounds on each side just so we can get that flow going. So we're going to inhale, exhale in front, inhale, exhale so they come behind, inhale, exhale, inhale the hands to prayer, exhale. And then we'll do the other side, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale behind, exhale in front, inhale prayer, and exhale then. Returning to the first side, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, prayer, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Final side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So that could be something that you add to any routine of stretching in the morning, and you could just simply do that. Give yourself a little breath practice, connecting it with movement. Now, we've been sitting for a while, so especially if you're sitting like me, you may feel it in the feet. So you can take the block away, tuck the toes under here, walk the hands forward, and then stretching out the feet. Maybe you didn't sit like I did, but this is still a great position. You stretch out the feet, the ankles, and of course there's a bit of stretch through the lower back. And then come up to all fours and then go into big toes together, knees wide, by slowly bringing those sit bones back to your heels. Couple of breaths here. And then inhale, coming up to all fours. We'll tuck the toes under and come into a downward dog. And again, we were doing this the other day and it feels good. You can have a little bit of a wiggly dog or a rolling dog or a shaking dog. We were shaking out the water, weren't we? Just to shake out any kind of tension in your body. And then if you want to bend the knees, press the armpits, and then really straighten those legs. Bring the knees down, going into big toes together, knees wide, deep breaths. And while you're down here, you want a little bit more shoulder stretch. Bring the elbows together and then lean the hand here. Because this practice, we'll have some arm movement. And we really want to create readiness in the shoulders. And you can walk the hands out again. Inhale, coming up. Tucking the toes under. Coming into downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here. And then walk the hands and the feet towards each other. And slowly rolling up the spine as we come to the front of the mat. I still always think it's really good to have a wide base with the feet and have them hip width. If you want to bring the legs together, that's a choice you can make. So we're just going to stand in Tadasana for a few breaths. See if you can feel the length of the front of the body. So there's that lift through the abdominal up to the top of the head. And then there's length coming down into that sacrum and tailbone, that really, as if we still had a tail, as if we still had a tail that weighted us down, so that the pelvis is not tipping over or too far forward. And you might want to really press the heels down so that you can feel that lift from the heels up into the sits bone. Sometimes we see people with saggy buttocks, so we want to have some relationship with that connection from the heels all the way up to the sit bone. And then while we're here, we'll do an interlock of the fingers. Bring them in front. Inhale up. Couple of breaths here. And then bring the arms down. Release the hands. Change the crossover. Inhale in front. Lift them up. Couple of breaths here. And then release down. So we'll have little breaks to shake it out because we're going to do quite a bit of this. And one of the reasons I thought it was a great practice was, getting more stretch in the wrists. We tend to be on our phones all the time, typing on computers, and do we actually get into some of that stretching in the wrist? So we're going to go into Warrior One by first crossing the fingers, bring them straight in front of you, lift it up so you've got that elevation, and then you're going to slowly I'm bringing my right foot back, so you can do that as well. It's good to practice poses on opposite side legs sometimes. So I've got my left foot forward and my right leg back. A couple of breaths here. And then as you step the back leg in, then you can release the arms out through the side, because that's a lovely different kind of movement. And then it's kind of like the opposite movement. We want to keep as much range of movement. So now change your crossover. And then inhale forward, lift them up. And then take the other leg. So in my case, it's my left foot back behind me. And come into Warrior One. Couple of breaths here. Really feeling that power in the leg. And then stepping that foot forward. And then letting the arms float to the side. And a couple of breaths there. So we're going to do the same pose, and we'll do a similar arm position, but we'll start a little differently. So for the second round, bring the fingers for the crossover, and then just bring them forward. Now bring that right foot back long behind you. So this time the arms are actually forward when you begin the pose. And now inhale up. Now bring the arms back forward, bring the back foot in, and then I guess we'll just open them out to the side and bring them down. Just for something a little different. For the second side, remember which finger you crossed over. Saying that to remind myself. then bring the hands forward and step the opposite foot. In my case, it's the left foot back behind me. So now we've got this length forward. Hopefully you're getting that stretch in between the shoulder blades here. And then you can inhale it up. And then bring the the arms forward. Bring the back foot in. Open the arms out wide and bring them down. And a couple of breaths here. So you should have received some information there that was of use for your body, maybe. So now we're going to do a variation of Warrior 2. So again, bring the hands in front. Inhale them up. And because I started with my right leg back, I'm going to do that here. So bring that back foot behind you, turning it in. And then just turn the torso. And stay here for a couple of breaths. Turn the torso around, bringing the back foot in, and then just let those arms float down. Then bringing the hands in front of you, do the opposite crossover, hands in front. Inhale, lift up, take back the left foot long behind you, and then you just bring the torso around like so. Couple of breaths here. And then pivot back around, bringing the foot behind you, and float the arms out to the side. And a couple of breaths there. So we're going to enter the pose in the same way, but we're going to float the arms down on the second side into the traditional Warrior 2 arms. So bring the hands together, press forward, inhale up, take that right foot long, and then you turn the body into Warrior 2, and then just float those arms to shoulder height. Did that help feel like you got the arms in the correct position, or maybe they feel longer? I don't know. For me, they felt really light when they came down. And then bring the hands up if you can again. You can come out the other way if that doesn't work. And then step the back foot in. And again, float the arms down. So now you know what to do on the second side. Bring the fingers in, come forward. Inhale them up, step long behind you. So you're in the warrior pose with the torso, and then you just float those arms out shoulder height. And you can inhale them up. That works for you still. And bring the back foot in, and then floating down. And it was Warrior 3 that I was playing with earlier that kind of inspired me in this practice. So now we're going to try Warrior 3 and see how we go. And I found, I don't know, there was something more stable for me in it, but it might not be for you. So what I was doing was crossing the fingers, bringing the hands up like this. And I was bending my knee up with the straight leg underneath and just coming forward. And for me, there was something about the arms here that gave me a real sense of stability. And then bring the foot back in and float the arms down. Couple of breaths here. And then bring the interlock fingers, bring them forward, lift them up, bend that. I have the left leg up now, and you just extend forward with the arms and bring that back foot long behind. So swing the leg through, arms up, float the arms down. So just as we did in the first pose, we're going to try the arms at a different level and see if that gives you new information and works for you or not. So bring the fingers together to interlock, bring it in front of you. Now what happens if you flex the foot out and then come forward into warrior? Does that change it in any way? Bring the foot back and release it. And then just open the arms out to the side and bring them down. And we'll do the other side. So interlock the other finger. Bring it forward. Lift that leg. And start to come forward. Pressing the palms forward like that. Bring the leg through. Arms forward. Open up to the side. Bring them down. So I don't know if that gave you any more information, but you're probably feeling the need to do something with the hands. So we're going to bring the palms down and place the knees on there. And you can tuck the toes under if that works for you. But whatever, it's like we're using our knees to massage our hands a little bit. And you can play with whether you want to bring the hips back more and get a stretch into the wrists this way. But for me, there's something about the knees and the hands that really, the pressure in the knees. And of course, you can make the pressure work for you. What kind of pressure works best for you in this? Release them and just come and have a little hand and shoulder shake. And then if you're okay sitting back on the block, you can come back into Virdrasana, or you can sit easy cross legs. Do a different arm position. So we'll do Virdrasana arm. So bring I've got the right elbow under the left. And then if this is where you need to be, you can just bring the elbows up and the hands on the shoulders. And you can try to lift the elbows up if that gives you a good stretch that feels right for you. The second stage would be, of course, to lift the arms up, keeping those elbows forward, because you don't want to be condensing the space in the chest there. And if you grab the hands, then you can go into that full Virdrasana arm. other one under. And again, you could start here, hands on the shoulders, get a bit of lift. Or a second stage might be right here. Later, perhaps you can find those hands. And slowly release them out, and you can have another little shake. I'm just feeling like, you could have put something into your neck a little bit, so just drop your chin to your chest a little bit. And just do a little bit of a C curve in your spine here. And then inhale and slowly come up. And then drop one ear to a shoulder. Letting the weight do it. You're not forcing it. You're not, you may only get this far, so just go to where the gravity works. Bring the head up. Drop the other ear to the shoulders. Yeah, come up. Look towards one shoulder, perhaps the right. And again, not forcing it, trying to keep that chin level, not lifting the chin and not dropping the chin. And then come back to the center. And then look to the other shoulder or the other side. Not forcing anything, not lifting or dropping the chin. Come back to the center. And then come back down to lying on your back. And I think this will feel kind of nice after all that. If you can, some people can hold their feet. Some people just need to have the hands here. Some people want to interlock the fingers. But we're going to do a couple of just rolling up into bridge pose. Bringing the chest to the chin. Slowly roll down. Make sure that the feet are as parallel as they can be. And then we'll do another one. Inhale, really push up. Chin to the chest. Slowly roll down. And of course on your own, of course you can hold these longer if that's what works for you. We'll do one more. Pressing the feet, the heels in, feeling that connection from the heels to the sits bone. Pressing up, see if you can go just a little further, really getting the hips up. Slowly coming down, and if you'd like, you can do a little windshield wiper with the knees. And then you can decide if you want to do legs in the chair or feet up the wall if you happen to have a wall there, or if you just want to go into regular Shavasana or something under your knees. So do what works for your body to head into Shavasana. Because we all have different bodies and different needs, so do what works for you. And then whatever position you have chosen today, first, just notice what's happening in your shoulders, in your arm. What kind of new information did that practice with the arms offer you? Maybe you don't have an answer, maybe you just have a sensation or a feeling, or you're not quite sure. But perhaps there's some different relationship in your shoulder girdle or in your arm. And then just see if you can imagine that you've got a waterfall that is just coming from the head, and it just permeates, flows down your head and face and neck, shoulders and arms, down your spine into your pelvis, all the way through your legs, your feet and toes. Imagine the water just dripping out your fingertips, dripping out your toes. Just imagine that whole body of water that you love, just settling with gravity. Just creating shapes based on the weight of gravity, force of gravity, really allowing you to spread into the ground. stretch. Roll to your side. Come up sitting. Trying to do that as if you were a bag of water, so everything just flows down into the ground. As you sit up, my light in me shines to the light in you. Thanks for being with me today, and namaste. Thank you for watching and joining us.
Namaste.